one of my favorite guys in this town.
Yes. Yeah. Northeast Radio SD, Watertown, South Dakota. All right, we got a special treat for you. We've got in with us the president and CEO of the Watertown Area Chamber of Commerce, Tim Sheehan. Good morning.
Good morning, and thanks for having me.
You bet. Thank you for joining us. So you brought a guest with you. You brought with you the owner of the Wheel Inn and also Gas and Goodies, Sara Horning. Thank you for joining us as well.
Good morning. Thank you.
Yeah. So, Tim, tell us maybe a little bit about our concept, what we're thinking. We want to talk to some local businesses, shine a spotlight on them, but not just the business. Like, we want to get to know, pull the curtain back a little.
Yeah. You know, and I thought about this. In fact, I wanted to do it for our annual meeting about tell us your story. I wanted people to send us, tell us your story. And we'll put a video, we'll do all this fun stuff behind it, but more about, you know, not your special, what you got going on this week, this month, last year, but about your story. What got you here? Like you said, behind the curtains, behind the scenes. We don't know really what we want, how I want to do it, but we're going to figure it out today, and then we're going to build on this. And luckily, you know, back when a couple months ago, maybe a month or so ago, when I got a hold of Sara and I said, you've been nominated for the Business of the Year, the Chamber of Commerce Business of the Year. It was real emotional for both of us because she deserved it. It felt so good for me I walked into her business, both of them, but she wasn't there, so we had to do it on the phone. But it was such a moment that I just wanted to take that and build on that as well.
Yeah, that's very good. Well, Sara, tell us a little bit about yourself. You know, we know, if we're from here, we know a little bit about the Wheel Inn, but I don't know much about Sara. Are you a Watertown native?
I am originally from Yankton
Okay.
and graduated from high school there, and then went to the University of South Dakota. Graduated from there, and then Ted and I met while I was at USD, and we ended up moved to Minneapolis. He was in Minneapolis, and we moved back there while he finished school and went to grad school, and landed here.
So what were you going to school for? Was it to run a restaurant?
No, I actually was biology, or I was a psychology major with biochem, and restaurant was not in my line of sight, but it definitely was something that was my first job.
Mm-hmm.
I worked in a restaurant and dishwasher and server and bartender and went all the way up, and I still do that. You know, if we need a dishwasher, that's my job that day or whatever.
Yeah. So you guys connect, and then you get married and you move back to Watertown?
We did.
Okay.
Yep. Ted's mom was sick and she passed away, and he's an only child, and we wanted to be closer to his dad, and so we moved back here, and had originally thought we were going to take over a different restaurant in town, and it just didn't work out for us, and decided to approach the owner of the Wheel Inn and see if he was ready to sell, and he was not. And so we went back to Minneapolis, and 2 weeks later he called and said, "Yep, I'm ready." So here we are.
Okay. Yeah.
So when you said 20 years ago, we did ribbon cutting here this summer. 20 years, but when did you get married then?
We got married in 2000. Shoot, sorry, Ted.
Yeah.
2003.
Okay, so not much prior to
No, we were married
Minneapolis,
for for a couple of years, and then we moved back.
Now, what did you do in Minneapolis then?
Oh, I had a great job. It was so fun. I worked at Nordstrom. So I sold clothes and got to have fun. It was fantastic.
I can see her in a Nordstrom's.
Oh my gosh.
Or a Macy's, all the above.
It was amazing. So it was really kind of a fun job, and thank heavens for my dad and my father-in-law. They helped bail me out a few times. I just spent my paycheck and we have no rent money left. So,
well, that's how you become a good salesperson.
Right.
You get to know the product really good that way.
Yeah, for sure.
So when you're kind of looking at what you want to do in Watertown, did you look at other businesses too, like maybe
we did
something else?
Yeah, we did. Okay. But I knew a restaurant is definitely what I wanted and what we needed in our life. So yeah, it was the right fit, and handful of employees that were there when we took over are still there. So And one I have working with me over at Gas and Goodies. She was at the Wheel-In, and then we moved over to Gas and Goodies for day hours. And yeah, so we've got a great group of people that I get to work with every day.
So what's that like when you are a new entrepreneur and you are taking over a restaurant and it's a little bit of a maybe not newer industry, but just that position, and then you have these employees that have been there for a while, and that dynamic, how do you kind of move yourself into that?
I was scared. You know, you have a new person that's not from here. They don't know me from a hole in the wall, and I'm expected to just be able to go in and take over and have these people stay with me. Well, if they would have all jumped ship, what would I have done, you know? But I started working in October of 2004. That'd be right? Yes, with Greg Meyer, the previous owner. And everybody stayed. And so I'm so thankful for that. You know, it was, it was scary. I was really scared to figure that, you know, out of is Judy and Mickey, who is with me for this whole time, or Nikki Schmidt, or, you know, all of them, Dawn Gertzman now over at Gas and Goodies, but I'm very fortunate that they stayed. But yeah, I was real scared.
It's probably not an accident that they stayed, or they think they had to stay. I'm sure it's the way you treated them, you incorporated them into the philosophies of the business, running the business, getting their ideas, and
it's
making them part of it.
It's two-way street. I mean, yeah, it is. You know, I do feel that I treat them very well, but they treat me just phenomenal. So it really is a two-way street.
I think some people could look at a restaurant or, you know, being a server or a waitress, you know, for that many years. And, you know, how do you take someone's career and make them, you know, feel that value for that long, you know, make them feel, you know, a part of maybe your family, if you will.
Yeah.
You know, how do you portray that with your people? Is there something special that you kind of do with people?
No, I do just that. I treat them like my family. Mm-hmm. So it works. Mm-hmm. You know, we all work hard. We all share ideas. Some are good ideas, some not so great. And but that's like any industry. You know, some things work, some don't, and you just take what worked from one thing and build on it. So we've been very fortunate. Not only has the community taken me in and been so like just open arms through this whole process, but my staff, and I look forward to seeing what we can do. There's a lot left to go in me. I'm still 27.
That's what I was guessing.
Yeah,
yes.
But I'm just getting started, I feel like.
Let's talk about some fun stories about the Wheel-In. I remember, you know, years ago, of course, I grew up in Watertown, so I remember cars running into the building, and bashing things. A couple
that
times.
happened, yeah.
Let's talk about some of those fun stories. When was the last time you had a big, oh my God, incident?
We were coming from Mitchell back in October. We had another woman yeah.
Okay.
They called me and said, well, a woman just ran into the building, and I said, what? Yeah, she did. And I said, well, where is she? Well, she came in to eat. She didn't tell anybody. So she came in and ate and was getting back out to leave, and was just going to leave. Thankfully, there was no damage, but she did take the pole out. She hit the building, little crack, but yeah.
But somebody has actually driven almost right through it, didn't they?
They did, actually. They did.
I don't know,
yeah.
80s, 90s, whatever that was.
Yeah.
Probably way before your time.
No, actually, I had one
really?
too. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Back in the
Let's
back
tell me all
90s,
about that,
right?
huh?
Yeah, somebody did, and she just had gotten the gas and brake mixed up, and she went through the building and pushed the pole. Her car went through the building. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. There was somebody at the table.
So as you push the poles, you've got those cement barricade things.
Yeah, they need to be replaced. If you look around, there's a few laying down. They do get hit. But she did. She took that out, took the wall out, and
wow.
Like I said, nobody was hurt.
So my thing is you put a little sign on the wall saying R for reverse and the gas pedal's on the on the right.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
You deal with a lot of locals too. I mean, that's kind of the, no pun intended, but the bread and butter of what a restaurant is, really.
Oh, for sure.
How has it been to? I bet when you first started, you probably get that little bit of controversy. Here's a new person, and we've been coming here and so on. But you've obviously retained them and grew new ones. What's it like to have that kind of that local community that comes every day or every weekend?
Oh, it's amazing. It really is. I mean, you look at some people are there 2, 3, 4 times a day. And, sometimes maybe it's only coffee that they're coming for, and then they'll come back for, a cookie, and then lunch, and then whatever. It's really neat. And I look at a few people that have been in business, or, there's one that comes to mind, a dentist in town that I remember him being, in the high chair and having to give him crackers because the food was taking too long. And now he's a dentist here in town, So just to see everybody grow up and evolve over time is just, it's a blessing. It really is.
Yeah, that's exactly I think the story, that right there is what we're talking about is, you see the evolution of a little tyke in a high chair to now fixing people's teeth.
Yeah.
And you've been there the whole time, and you might look at it as just a restaurant or a server or a waitress, but these are people that are making a little difference in people's lives, I think, every day.
Absolutely. I mean, people come back from all over the world to come back to eat at the Wheel Inn, whether it's they're coming back for a family reunion, a school reunion, or a funeral, or a wedding, or whatever. They will make a stop at the Wheel Inn and tell us, those stories. If I remember coming here with my grandmother, and we used to sit back here, and my grandpa would go over here to have a cigarette, or just those things of the hot beef combo was my grandpa's favorite. And unfortunately, there's times that, obviously it's part of life, and the funeral, and we will cater those meals because it was their favorite meal, if it was the hot beef combo or the whatever it may be. There's nothing that we will not do for a catering, but it is neat to see all these family traditions keep going.
It's funny you say that. Like last weekend, my mother-in-law, who's dealing with some aging things, so my in-laws, brothers, my wife's brothers, they were all in town. So when they're back, no matter what, if it's 2 of them or if it's all 5 or 6 of them, we're going to the Whale Inn. It's like, there's 17 people, guys. We can't just walk in there.
Yes, you can.
I know.
Oh, yes, you can.
Like, you guys, we can't. Yeah, and it happens, I'm sure, every day. Can we get the back room? Well, yeah, you're going to have to, because it's with that tradition it is a tradition.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah,
it's been there for, since 1956. And we have some customers that I think have been coming since 58, I think is what they said.
Wow.
She has recently been put in a home, but and so he doesn't come as often just due to the fact of visiting her. But I mean, still coming. Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times when I stop in there, it's usually the 3 or 4 guys that are sitting in the same chair reading the paper or whatever. But that's their chair. And we talked about this at our annual celebration about, you can't sit there because that's so and so's chair.
Yes.
You better get out of here. But he'll be in here anyway.
He'll be in. Yeah.
You're going to get the look.
Yep. But what's so great too is, a lot of people are creatures of habit. And if they don't show up and they're typically there at a certain time, we do call. We have either if they're at an apartment complex or their family or whatever. I mean, it's a small enough town that we know somebody that knows somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll call and check and make sure that they're okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know what the story also you shared at the annual celebration was the no alcohol on my premises. Let's talk about that story a little bit. What kind of shot do you?
Yes, I had kind of a rowdy crew at night, and I shouldn't say rowdy. They were fine. They just were a little mouthy, little high school crew, and I always thought they were up to no good. And I remember coming into work, and I was checking to make sure everything was off before going home, and I saw a 12 or a 6-pack of beer up in the top part of the cooler. I thought that they were in there drinking at night, so I decided I took the beer out, dumped it one by one into the dumpster, threw it away, and came into work the next day. And Lou, who has passed, said to me, she said, "Where's the beer?" I just kind of looked at her and she said, "Well, we have beer battered fish today." Oh, sorry. I thought for sure it was those little high school kids. So I went to the till and opened it up, took $5 out, and went across the street and got another 6-pack of beer. So, yeah.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
Well, I could see that too. But, at least you didn't, freak out or anything, so.
Fire them.
Yep.
I mean, but it was kind of one of those that I did have to put my tail between my legs and apologize because I truthfully, I just jumped to conclusions. I thought for sure it was them, but.
And laugh about it later.
Right,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
So let's jump a little bit to Gas and Goodies, one of your other businesses.
Yep.
How long have you had that business?
Since 2008.
Okay.
Yep.
So not shortly after you had.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. We were in with a couple other partners and had another station, and then we each took one and split and went separate ways. And
Perfect location.
yeah, it's great. And Dawn Gertzma, who works for me over there, is the one that started at the Wheel Inn doing nights, and then just said, "Hey, this is perfect time for you. Do you want to come over and switch to days?" And she did. So
Absolutely.
How do you balance then, balance the two of those when they seem like they can be two separate entities?
my staff. Yep, the people I work with are so great. So Dawn runs everything over there, and over at the Wheel Inn. I mean, it's a great partnership. Everybody really works well together. So never a dull moment.
You said that you're hands-on too, so you're in there working and doing the catering part too. That's kind of a big part of what you guys do.
Yeah, it is. We do a ton of caterings actually. You wouldn't. I guess I think so, and a lot of people are like, oh, we didn't realize that you cater. I think more probably the last 3 years, it's really increased. We're doing something. If not every day, a few times a week. So.
Well, after people hear this, you're gonna be busy twice a day.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it doesn't matter, big, small. We've done our biggest catering is up to 1,000 people.
Wow.
So yeah, but if you have just a little office party or whatever, we can take care of anything you need.
I was just going to say, it really speaks volumes of the tenure of your employees. When you hear how hard it is to get people and find people, and it is, but when you've had people that long, you're taking care of them and growing employees, which I think that shows a really good atmosphere that you've got there, which then creates a really good business, and that's what's kind of shining through the community from what we're hearing.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Many employees, their kids work for us, and now we're down to the grandkids. They're working for us, and it's great. It's fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll tell you my fun story about the Wheel Inn back in 1977, probably. LG Noteboom had owned the Wheel Inn back then, and my wife Lisa, that was her first job in high school, was to be the dishwasher. Of course, when we're dating, the weekends are kind of important to us, so I can't work weekends, so she only worked there for a few months, but I used to go sit there in one of those corner booths and wait for her to get off of work at 9 o'clock at night, or whatever time that was, but I'm sure there's hundreds and hundreds of stories just like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I just liked, when I was little, for some reason, like walking to the bathroom back there in the corner and then checking out all the people sitting in the corners and that diner look, at the, I don't know what you call that. It's not like
Our
a
counter.
bar, right?
Yeah,
the counter. Those little, not a bar, but the little stools up there. That old diner look is so cool to me. And so I'd always remember walking by there as a little kid and checking everybody out, seeing what they're eating and poking around a little.
Yeah.
Well, I think even those glasses that you have, they've been around for a long time.
They still actually sell those.
Huh?
Yeah, like they still sell those, so we're able to update those.
So they're not worn out.
No,
but
I hear what you're saying because I've thought the same thing. But there are little things like that I would love to change, but I'm like, I just can't.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of high school, you mentioned Yankton versus the Watertown, the sporting
volleyball.
things. Let's talk about your high school and how was that for you? What were some things you were involved in?
I was a student council. I'm trying to even think. I was a runner, volleyball. What else did I do? It seems like it was a long time ago, even though I'm only 27, right, Tim?
Yeah.
I was busy. I was involved in a lot.
Must have a part-time job back then in
I
high
did.
school? Okay.
Yep. I worked at a place that was called the Kelly Inn, Ramkota.
Yeah, hotel, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And in fact, after I said that was my first job, it really was not my first job. My first job was selling shoes. I worked at Trade Home Shoes. But yeah, I did. I worked all the way through. I loved working. I loved being out in the community, and I loved shopping. So I had to have my own money. I had to pay for my stuff some way or another.
So you're talking running, you're talking track, cross country?
Track and cross country.
Okay.
I did cross country for how long did I do that? A year, because I had gotten hurt, and then I never got to get back into running. So yeah.
Interesting. How about now?
Now I do not run. That is far too much
You're
work.
busy.
I love watching people run. I'm very, no, I'm a walker, and I just do that and scrapbook, and yeah,
Scrapbook.
I do.
Okay.
Like the old school, get our cutters out, buy the paper. I've got a good friend, Angela, and myself that just love it, and we found a scrapbook store now in Omaha. They're not around anymore.
Mhm.
So trying to find something kind of close. But
Okay.
yeah, Office Peeps has great selection of scrapbook paper if anybody wants to know.
Very good.
Yeah.
Right across the street.
Right across the street. Yep.
Yep.
You have kids?
We
got
do.
kids?
Yep. We have 2 girls. We have a 19-year-old who is going to school at Creighton for her first year. She's going into dental for orthodontics. So she'll do dental school at Creighton. Yep. And then wherever for ortho. And then we have a 14-year-old, just got her license yesterday. So
Wow.
it was a very, very big day in our house. But
Congratulations.
thank you very much. Yep. So she's an 8th grader, and yeah, great kids. Neither one have any interest.
That's what I was wondering.
No. Bella, our oldest, I gave her a job. That was her first job. She did not make it. I had to let her go.
Ooh.
She said one day, Mom, I'm not on the app anymore. What happened? Because that's where we do all of our scheduling. And I said, Bella, this is just not a good fit.
Oh.
She said, well, yeah, it was kind of the mother-daughter.
Mm-hmm.
She kept questioning me on the menu of what things had and what it came with. And I said, well, honey, I made the menu here. I know what's on it. But yeah, it just didn't work.
Like.
Yeah. But Brooklyn, our youngest, maybe she'll work there part-time. Yeah,
Mhm.
but
How about Mr. Horning? Does he do much?
oh, he's so sweet. No, he's a great, yes, he does a lot. He does, I don't want to say no, he doesn't. He does a great deal. But no, hands-on wise, no, but he is like the first one to say, yes, give it a try, or, yep, go ahead and do this, or, yeah, he's fantastic. When we first took over, he did work. He worked Sunday mornings, and, yep.
Making eggs and omelets?
No, he was a greeter. He was a greeter, and he tells me that he filled coffee, like went around with coffee.
Oh, sure.
I do not remember that, but maybe he did. I do not remember that.
Maybe just one day he did it. But
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Or one.
Right, yeah, but
Then
he's...
you have that
he's-
too, right? Decaf? Right?
Decaf,
They
yes.
don't remember. Right?
Well, and the small trick on that, how we know if it's regular or decaf,
Mhm.
the cups, the white cups are decaf.
Mm.
Huh.
Yep.
All right.
So,
The more you
Yeah.
know.
right?
Yeah.
That's the little trick. So then you don't have to interrupt. If, you have a
yeah.
group of people and
Uh-huh.
they have white, it's either hot chocolate or cappuccino or decaf,
Yeah.
but you can tell by looking.
See the way my mind works though? I can see the cup, but I couldn't tell you which hand I have the decaf in.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, and I'm a lefty.
Yeah.
Yep. So my left hand works better, so I always keep my regular in the left hand and decaf in the right, because you don't use the decaf as often.
Those are all the little things
Right?
that keep it nice and efficient.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very good.
Absolutely.
We get a new POS system next week, so if anyone is listening, please be patient. It's going to be a little bit of a learning curve for all, but definitely going to be something that's going to be great. Just updated, and it's needed.
Mhm.
The servers will be, many places have the handhelds where they come to the table. We have such a large menu that when you take an order and you go back to put it in the computer, it takes a while to get that put in, So we say we want table turn times of 20 minutes. By the time you take the order, get it put in the computer, well, you may be already looking at 7 minutes of that. So being able to change some things and streamline it a little bit, I think is going to be great. So we get that next week.
You know, you did mention your huge menu. It is.
It is a big menu.
Oh my Lord. Yeah, this is, and for the size of the building, I assume the kitchen's not massive, but to be able to store and produce, and you must have deliveries several times a day to keep up with that.
Not every day, but a lot, yeah. So we typically get a couple big trucks. They come twice a week. So it's learning that, and we've definitely outgrown our space, but
But you're kind of like,
we are,
Unless you get one of the streets either behind you or in front of you.
No, so we added on one little area on the east side of the building a number of years ago, and thank heavens, because that is floor to ceiling, just catering equipment. And
well, as you say, it had to go somewhere.
Yeah. There's a lot.
Wow. So speaking of those cups we talked about, back in the day, you may still have one of these around somewhere, but you used to listen to music. They take a little flip thing where you could put a quarter in and listen to music at your table.
Yeah.
Remember
Sure.
those?
Yeah.
Sure.
You don't see that anymore.
You don't. You don't. That sure would be nice.
Nostalgic.
Yeah.
I bet you someone's got some in their garage somewhere, some of those.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wonder how they work. They couldn't have records in all of those.
I don't know. Yeah. You don't have any?
I don't have any.
No, maybe we can track some down.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll get on that. Doreen's always got connections too with all that kind of stuff sometimes. So that technology reminded me of something too. Now you have you talk catering and delivery and stuff. So like people can go online and order food, and then like with gas and goodies too. Like you can go online and like you have programs with both like the businesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, tell us about that. Kind of a little. Can you?
You mean like a loyalty program?
Yeah, like all those different programs that are out there for your business.
Yeah. We run different programs now. With the new software, we'll be able to do some different things and have it be a little bit easier than your punch cards and your whatever. But if you're for gas and goodies, we do a discount for teachers and students, 7 cents off, or healthcare providers. Anybody that works.
Chamber
That's negotiable there, Tim.
7 cents more.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Interesting. So right now, typically when we have lunch, we'll call the wheel in. Can we order online right now?
You can.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep, you can. Next week it's going to be much easier.
Okay.
I love the program that we have now, but this next one is fantastic. Very user friendly. Pickup is all that we have. Curbside, if you don't want to come in, we use that all the time. Just there's a spot on the side of the building. Just call us when you're there. We bring it out. We used to do delivery. I wish we still could, but it got really big, and thankfully we had that during COVID. That helped us tremendously. That we do not have anymore. It just got to be too hard. I could not take care of everybody in house and out, and it was too much.
A lot of I'm not a DoorDash or whatever they call it, other delivery services. I know because it eats you into your profits, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not like they're going to come and take it for you.
Right. Yep, I do not do that.
You don't need to, right? Because you're just crushing it the way it is.
Well, I'm very fortunate. Yeah. So Ted and I definitely found something that we love, and I'm very, very thankful.
Well, when you do get your new POS, as you're aware, our Watertown Chamber Bucks cards, we need to update your POS because those are only allowed by our chamber members. And when you do get a new POS, they don't figure, it doesn't work anymore. So maybe something's months later, but as soon as you get in, we'll come and reactivate that.
Yeah,
so people can take
do
those
that.
cards.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got to get on the ball and figure out our burger.
Yes. Burger battle coming
I know.
up.
I'm like, geez, Louise, we have not done that. So we are this year.
Yes, that's going to be fun. And you got time to think about it. Right now the jalapeno popper burgers are coming. They're kind of seemed the thing. Before it was always some of the jams on them, and then there was an egg and then peanut butter.
Yeah.
So it changes every year what people are looking for.
Yeah.
You have to do a poll now for your customers with your new app and your new software.
There you
find
go.
out what people are like.
Yeah.
Use the technology.
We decided we thought we would try one. Our youngest, puts like 67 no pun intended here on that one, but like a ton of pickles on her burger. So I'm like, you know what? Why don't we try it? Let's put the pickles inside the patty because she likes bigger burgers. So we'll put the pickles in there. It just got too soggy. It didn't work.
Oh.
And plus then they get warm and she didn't like it.
Yep.
But
Try it now.
yep.
Yep. Good stuff.
So
When does that come around?
You know, I think it's going to start the middle of February and go through the end of March, I believe.
Okay.
Because we had, our first time we did it was a month, but then we grew it to where you had like 15 or 18 burgers, and there's no way you could do it in a month. I mean, you could, but it's very uncomfortable for your body.
mhm.
So we stretched it into 6 weeks to give people more opportunity to try them all if they'd like to. We had a handful of people that actually did. They tried all 16 or 18 burgers last year.
Wonder if we could
Really?
come up with a microwavable one since we've got a microwave in here. We could maybe do
Yeah,
a little patty.
You can compete. You have a little drive-through window, right?
Yeah, you know what? We need to just have Ted on your speed dial.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's right behind you here.
Oh.
He can just stop by and see me at work, grab your food and drop it off and head back to work.
Yeah, just like instead of Nick's Burgers, Steve's
Yeah.
Burgers, come
Yep.
on by.
Yep.
Microwave to your pleasure.
Yep,
Nice and
absolutely. There you go, right?
Jeez.
Well, this has been a lot of fun.
Thanks for having
me. I really enjoyed getting to know you and your business and all that. Thanks so much. What are we missing about Sarah?
Gosh, I don't know.
How about future plans? More businesses? Are you
Yeah,
have enough? Huh?
No, I like a challenge.
If you could wave a
and-
magic wand, what would be the next business that you think I'd love to get into that? Whether you kept the other two or not, but if you could wave a magic wand and go,
Somebody asked me
Someday
once,
I
like,
wanna
if you
do
could do anything in this world, like, what would you have decided to do? And at first, I'm like, I'd love to be like a fashion designer, but then I'm like, no, that I'd be gone too much. I'd love to work at SeaWorld. Yeah, see, that's a small fact, or just
Mhm.
I would just to do like the shows with
Yeah,
the whales
think
and
you've
ride the
been there.
dolphins, and
huh?
Yeah.
And fed shampoo.
We never
or
could
whatever.
go as a little kid though because it was Anheuser-Busch and my family had the Miller distributorship, and so we could never go there. So maybe that's
And
why
to
I want
sneak
to do
in,
it
had to
now.
wear a
Like,
black wig.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Put on a big coat.
yeah. So
Get outta here.
yeah. So
That's
when Grandpa sold the business, that was the family's first thing that everybody wanted to do.
All right,
Go to
let's
the
go.
other side.
Right?
We're gonna go to the
Exactly.
other side.
Yeah. I don't know. Here though in Watertown, it's something where I'm still just out in the
Mhm.
community. Yeah. I love being able to give back and support, people. I wish I could support everybody. I mean, we get donation forms
Oh,
every day, and there is not one that I wish that I could not support. I can't support everybody.
Mhm.
But we really try to do as much as we can. It's a great community, wonderful people, and thank you to all of you for supporting our wonderful business
it's
all
easy
these
to do.
years.
It's easy to do and fun to do.
It's a great place. It really is.
Absolutely. Well, anything else from you, good sir?
No, thanks for coming. We'll have more guests. We haven't lined them up yet. We got a few in mind, so either next week sometime. We'd like to do it weekly. I don't want to put it weekly because if we get busy, we just can't do it. But I'd like to do it as often as we can, periodically, to make sure we're telling
Yeah.
people's story. Like I said, that's not about the businesses. That's not about the specials. What's going on this week, this month. But it's more about your story.
Yeah.
And I love it. I hope you had a great time.
Thank you. I did.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not going into public speaking. That's not something I would enjoy. But yeah, you guys have been great, and I appreciate all the love and support over the years. So
Very good.
keep on coming back.
Yeah, thank you for doing it, and we hear great things, and I've seen great articles and magazines and all that, and I've eaten it myself. So
Thank you.
thumbs up. And
I wish we could get a hold of what's the show on the Food Network?
Triple D, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
Yeah.
the
How do we get a hold
spiky
of
haired
them?
guy, Fieri.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll call him later.
You will.
See if
yeah.
we can-
Yeah.
I'll text him. I think he's fishing this weekend, but we'll get him.
Whatever.
He's been in Sioux
Maybe we'll
Falls,
bring
I'm
him
sure.
over to hunt.
Not a big deal.
Oh, yeah, he was at that Chislik thing.
Yeah.
I think it's Closer. Right?
yeah.
That Chislik, I forget what it was called. It wasn't Dakota Chislik. It was something
Urban?
down there. Urban Chislik,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I went there a time or two, or I actually just say once. It wasn't.
I think he closed.
It
Already.
didn't wow me.
Did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't last for a couple of years.
So he should have came to the wheel in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do.
Now we'll
Yeah.
get him.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is Sara Horning.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks, Steve. Local Thank Doreen for capturing this all on our Facebook Live and for many people to watch. Look for us again next week or even next month.
Yes, thank you,
Great.
Doreen.
Thank you.
You're amazing. And the president and CEO, Tim Sheehan of the Watertown Area Chamber of Commerce. Check that out online. Become a member. As you can see, they do great work. Get some gift cards because you can use those all over town at participating businesses. They make good stocking stuff for
They
this.
certainly do.
All right, Northeast Radio SD, Watertown, South Dakota.